Hello everybody, we are wrapping up our second day of surfing here on the show floor in Rosemont, Illinois. My name is Adam Robertson, NASF's marketing director. I'm standing with Brock Helton from Crossair. Crossair is an alliance partner of NASF. Brock, thank you for Crossair's partnership, and of course, thank you for your time.
Of course, thank you, yeah.
So let's talk about that partnership. Obviously that meant something to you to sign up to an alliance partner. Why is it important for Crossair to be involved with the industry at that level?
Yeah, it's really important for us. We love being a part of NASF. We've got our local chapter down in the Southeast, and it's just a great way for us to stay connected with our current customers and partners. It's also a great way for us to meet with potential new customers and providers. And another great thing is just the education that we get through this, and just staying up to date with the current trends of the field.
So obviously you're here to show off Crossair, right?
Yeah.
So this week we're super excited to say that we're like creeping up to 2,000 attendees this year at Surfing. We have 170 exhibiting companies here. Obviously you might be able to hear a little of this, the noise of the show floor, right? This week, as people are coming up to your booth and maybe some things you've heard recently, what are some of your potential customers coming up talking about challenge-wise, and how does Crossair solve those?
Yeah, definitely. So one of the big challenges we've been seeing this week is companies trying to stay up to date with the environmental regulations that they're meeting. So whether it be upgrading their scrubbers or mist eliminators, to just staying on top of the new regulations that are coming out, maybe the demands that they were able to meet in the past with different types of chemical additions such as PFAS. Now they have to get rid of that, put on a new system. Another thing is we offer a preventative maintenance program. And that's been something that people have really been needing, because they've realized just how important it is to not have that downtime. Should a bearing go bad, should a belt get loose, or something like that.
Well, it's really important, and you bring up the environmental aspects, because I think that's something that we're obviously here in the show floor, but on the other side of this building, right, we have our educational sessions. Huge topic always is being able to remain compliant, and I think that's probably a tough area to do, but it sounds like obviously Crossair is on top of that.
Yeah.
So let's just talk about, I guess, in general about surfing. Why should people be here at the show?
Yeah. So one reason is it's just a great way to network. So I get to see a lot of the people here, but it's usually at like a manufacturing plant.
Right.
When it's at a plant, it's loud, it's noisy. Usually people's got stuff going on. It's tough to really build that good connection. And when you're here, you really get to sit down with someone face to face, get to really know them. It's just a great way to network. Also, the show's got the conferences going on, all the different speakers going on. Great way to learn about what's going on in the industry, what are the current trends, and when you get back to your company, you can immediately implement those changes and bring back some value to your company.
I think that's a real value, right? I think you can, when you go to a conference, you sit there and you can hear a lot of things, but can you actually implement it, right? That's the question, and I think that's the main goal.
Yeah.
You're right. I think this year on the floor we've had many activations. I think I grabbed some of you guys' popcorn earlier.
Yeah.
So you had some people at your booth too. So that's great.
Right.
But obviously, NASF is more than just our event this week, right? It's more than just surfing. Of course, it's our sort of keystone event. We do have other events throughout the year. We have our education, as we sort of mentioned, our online full sort of suite of training offerings. Something to Crossair, that obviously you're an alliance partner. So what is the value of engaging with NASF, not just by attending surfing, but throughout the year?
Yeah, so we're pretty involved with the New England NASF as well as the Southeast NASF, and it's the main thing is we love seeing people here and getting to connect with them, but we don't want it to just be, hey, see you next year kind of thing.
Right.
So being able to stay involved and get to see those people, whether it be quarterly, our Southeast chapter, we just had a great Top Golf event not too long ago, and it was a lot of fun. Being able to see people not just once a year, to keep that networking going around year round. Also, the NASF has a great newsletter, and being able to stay up to date with what other companies have going on, any kind of changes going on in the industry, being able to stay up to date with that really means a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it's important, right? Surfing is such a great place, but it's like those who get the most out of these conversations are those who, don't just say, okay, we'll have the same conversation next year, right? It's like continuing that conversation throughout the year. Obviously, next year we're going to be in Long Beach. Things will look a little bit different next year. There's a lot of people excited about the change in scenery. But it is going to be great. And of course, we're wrapping up Surfing 2026 tomorrow. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you to Crossair for the Alliance Partnership.
Man, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.